Men of Reddit, what instantly turned you off a woman? Her daughter asked her for permission to go to a friend's house. She told her daughter to ask me for permission. We had only been dating for a month, and I had only met the kid once. I had never seen a 9-year-old cringe before. That was your cue to step up with the true dad response. Ask your mother. Shit, that's brilliant. But I was still processing the fact that I was suddenly being asked to give a dad response for the first time ever. Breaking up with me. I'm sorry, but if you dump me, that's it. Relationship over. I was in a relationship that over the course of 3 years we had broken up twice, and both times were more her idea than mine. The final time we broke up I refused to take her back, and she got upset with me saying that we got back together the first 2 times, so I would have to take her back this time. She got mad at me saying that it wasn't fair because she didn't want it to be over. I just looked at her and said, well, sometimes breakups are one-sided. Do you think there are some people out there who genuinely think that breakups are supposed to be consensual? Like, almost everything else in a relationship is supposed to be, so maybe they can't conceptualize someone unilaterally deciding to end the relationship. Yeah, I would believe there are. She had it in her mind that our relationship was fair and balanced, but judging how one-sided it actually was, I would think that she believed this to be true. My second date with this one girl was going to a Christmas party of mutual friend. After we were there for a little while, she started talking to this other guy and they went to some corner where no one else could interrupt them and talked for an hour. When they were done talking, she immediately told me she was leaving and up and bounced. Totally turned me off. So I didn't talk to her again for a while. A month later she reached out and was like, why haven't you called me? I was kind of dumbfounded that she would actually ask. I didn't have anything else going on at the time, so I figured we could try again, but the Christmas party left such a bad taste in my mouth I couldn't even feign interest. This is what my coworker did to me. Asked me out. We went out. She danced with other dudes and then came back to the table with 2 drinks and set them down and started drinking. I assumed the other one was for me and took a swig. She looked annoyed at me and asked me if that was mine. Then she looked exasperated and came back with another drink and explained to me she was trying to pick up this dude and took her 2 drinks over to some guy's table. I gathered my shit to leave and she stopped me before I hit the door saying that if this guy didn't want to take her home she would need a ride. Still I just nodded and left. Stopped talking to her altogether. Later on she wrote me a note saying stuff like, why haven't we followed up? And I thought we liked each other, and so on. She couldn't understand why I lost interest in her. I believe you, but this is so absurd that I almost can't believe this person exists. My cat and her dog didn't get along. She said I'd have to choose between her and her dog or the cat. I picked cat. She cried. It was the second date. Bye-bye. My cat and her dog didn't get along. I'm surprised you knew this bit of information on the second date. I could see if you both had dogs and met at the park or something, but how does your cat meet her dog? Second date was me cooking dinner at my apartment. She brought the dog without warning me. Cat immediately took a swipe, so I put him in the bedroom and kept the dog in the living room, and the dog wouldn't stop barking and clawing at my bedroom door. I was pretty much done when she brought the dog over unannounced, but I figured we'd stick out the night since I'd already started cooking, but the dog just wouldn't calm down, which got us heated and led to the ultimatum. Seeing her treat her parents like doormats, or seeing her treat anyone like doormats, or seeing her treat her doormats like people. That's a turn on, actually. I agree. I went from 6 o'clock to midnight at the thought of this. She told me she expected me to text her good morning every single morning before her. The witch got up at 6 every day and I don't get up till 8. Duck off, that is horseshit. Is there a way you could automate that? This was my first thought, but still shouldn't have to do that. Though I think I would automate it to be passive aggressive. Good morning. I'm still asleep, but this is my personal assistant texting you to say good morning. Please wait till normal business hours to text back. Norm business hours are the hours of 8 AM to 10 PM. Genius level of passive aggressive revenge. I had a girlfriend recently, only lasted about 7 months, and this is one of the reasons I, in the end, couldn't stand her. Every time she talked about something, and I thought she finished speaking, and I started to speak, she continued speaking, but in slightly louder tone, as if I rudely interrupted her. And if I happened to do it again, she just went from loud to louder. Her speaking pattern was filled with pauses, so it was very easy to mistake one of those pauses for a finished sentence. Love the way you changed the font for the tone. Made me giggle as I got the picture in my head. Thanks. I thought it added a little vivid expression to the story. Told her friend in public that my mom was stupid and made fun of her for 20 minutes. She didn't know my mother's friend was sitting next to her in the restaurant and heard the whole thing. We were in college and in a different town, which made the whole experience for her that much more unfortunate. I was done, particularly because my mom was nothing but the kindest person to her and made every effort to make her feel welcome when she visited. Not being able to stay off your phone. I'm on a date to talk to you, not watch you track your followers. It's amazing to me how many people think this is okay, right? It feels pretty disrespectful. Like if you need to talk to your boss or something urgent, cool. But I don't want to feel like you're wasting my time. We were both 20, hanging out at her nice apartment. She casually, proudly told me she had a sugar daddy, a married guy I knew and loathed. Lumberg. When she thought the appropriate response to me saying something she didn't agree with was a slap across the face. She had gotten into a fight with her friend because of something she was completely in the wrong about. I made the mistake of calling her out on it. I have an accent, so anyone who is way too into that gets the boot pretty quickly. I once walked out on a date because she spent 30 minutes trying to impersonate me and couldn't understand why I didn't think it was endearing. One of TH things that stood out to me about my BF was when I met his friends for the first time and they were all surprised that I'm an Aussie. I feel like most guys would brag about it. The place I was living at the time was quite small and basically everyone would introduce me as the Australian. I would have randos come up to me at work and say, "So you're the hot Aussie, I've heard about you, etc." So when I realized that he hadn't even mentioned it when he was telling them about me, I definitely swooned a little bit. Had a girl I dated, and we were pretty into each other. One day she got extremely upset with me for saying something pretty innocuous because it reminded her of something from her past. I said I'd remember not to bring that up in the future and apologized, though that didn't seem to suffice. It appeared I was to be punished or treated poorly for it. I asked if I could get a pass on this as there was no way I could have known what I said would have bothered her, but no. I asked her if there was anything else that really set her off like this, and she said yes, though I'd have to find out on my own. I asked if there was anything I could do in the future to avoid upsetting her or causing one of these situations, and again she angrily said no. I was getting a little perturbed by this point and asked if she was really blaming me for saying something harmless that I had absolutely no idea would set her off that way, and she said yes. So I tried to reason with her one last time. So you're telling me that there is a minefield out there, that you know where all the mines are, but refuse to tell me, and that if I step on one of these and it goes off, it is my fault and I should be punished as a result. Indeed she did. We were supposed to go out for supper, but I told her I wasn't hungry, got in my car and went home. If you're going to create the path and conditions of failure for our relationship, you can trust that I will find the shortcut every time. I've been there, but I chose to walk the field. I know better now. You're smart for not choosing to try and make it work. I too chose to walk this field. Quite unsurprisingly, I kept stepping on mines. I was young and stupid, but I did learn something from it at least. I thought maybe we could try an open relationship after I caught her ducking one of my friends. When they complain about me being friends with other girls, yay, like I'm gonna cut out every woman in my life just because you're too insecure with yourself. The ironic moment when the girl who complains about you being friends with other girls is also friends with a load of guys as well, but sees no problem in that makes it so much worse. RIC, you've met my ex. All my friends are guys. I just get along better with them. I'm going bike riding with Sarah because she is literally the only other person that will ride with me. It makes me really uncomfortable that you guys spend so much time together. Weren't you at some guy's birthday at a bar until like 3 AM last Saturday? That's different. Bad breath and bad hygiene.